Wow, RTBA. The flat ass jokes from you? Really? It's gonna be like that? Yo, who is that? Um, I understand that there's like people are getting banned on YouTube for mass reports or something like that, but I think I listened to Chud read through some of the reasons why people can get banned on YouTube, and the TOS actually seems pretty strict.
Okay, hi, I'm here. Sorry.
Hey,
Hi.
fuck, I forgot what I was saying before. We were talking about ad split
Oh yeah, just at the.
on Twitch.
I feel like Twitch primes are going away.
Yeah. Primes are going away.
And then the ad split, and then the sub split is really low. You mentioned if advertising was affected. I said I don't think so. It seems to be okay. But, yeah.
And you think that that's gonna like, it's basically like early signs of the ship sinking.
Yeah, or there's been a lot of like they haven't had any good products in fucking years. Like, what was the last product they released that was like cool for streamers or viewers?
Do they need new products?
I don't know. Do they? Is it? I mean, like the data rate could be bumped. I think they're still limited to 6 megabits per second over there, which it kind of is sad. And then I think why didn't they take that route? What else? Yeah, I don't know. They just like Twitch is basically the same platform it was like 6 years ago, right? Like, has much changed? I think like the last big product they added was bits. You can't rewind live VODs.
Maybe, well, there's moderation stuff. I think now you don't have to do some weird thing on some like third-party site to be able to shout out people. Like the chat is still like really good. The moderation tools are still really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think looking at the people who get banned off of YouTube and like the concern of copyright on YouTube, I always thought that people really liked Twitch for being sort of irresponsible.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, yeah, that's not even a benefit to Twitch. That's just Twitch just sucks at it, which is technically good for streamers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know.
So when you do get unbanned, can you commit to playing League of Legends with me?
What league are you in?
What league am I in? I'm about to be in gold.
Why would you even think I could make that commitment?
Why what?
Why would you even think I could make that commitment?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. If I commit to becoming a white nationalist and to shoot flare guns at immigrant boats, can you commit?
I'll play as many games with you as I did with her. Sure. Which was like 3. Yeah? Is that what you want?
Not as many, okay? Because I don't want to be like some sort of like course correction or something. All right? Just one less than you played with her.
Okay, gotcha. Fine, I'll commit to 2 games of League. Okay. Is that what you came here for? To solicit League games?
No, I was going to talk to you about the Fresh and Fit panel, but I don't know if you want to keep talking.
Yeah, sure.
What was your
Wait.
what's your take on it? Because I think okay, I'm waiting.
Before you ask me that, I don't know why my train won't take this rail. I don't understand why not. Okay. I thought it went okay. I think the first half was probably better than the second half. Yeah, I feel like the main problem I'm gonna have is usually what I complain with for most like lefty or progressive people, is that they're just way too aggressive.
Like fighting on too many points, not giving.
Fighting on too many points
or
for Pixie and being too snarky for Aaron, I would say.
I don't know if it's me being a little bit too judgy, but I super don't understand she, they in Pixie's.
No, yeah, that's also, yeah, she needs to drop. That's just, you have to just dump that. It shouldn't even be in your profile. Because if somebody is like, oh, why do you have she, they? And you're like, oh, well, because I don't care. And it's like, I mean, you literally put in your profile. It feels like a cope. Like, it seems like
No,
you do
it
care.
doesn't feel like a cope. It, honestly, that's like the charitable version of it. And I think because we understand that, like, Pixie cares and, like, she's, I don't know, that those are her values, wherever they're coming from. But it, to me, it comes off like when you put shit in your pronoun, like your profile. When you put like heterosexual, pansexual, like you're memeing. It's a joke. So I feel like when she's like, oh no, I don't really care if you say they or something, like, I feel like she's coming really close to memeing on it.
Almost, yeah, kind of, almost. Yeah, I think I can agree with you there. Yeah. I don't know what the point is. Yeah, it just seems like a bad idea.
Do you think Fresh and Fit is like solely for entertainment, or do you think that Myron takes that content really seriously?
No, I think he takes it super seriously. He's a very serious guy, I think.
Okay, because I don't remember what your opinion is. Does Nico take it seriously? Is Nico like really serious to the Red Pill?
A little bit, but he's more like a follower than like a leader when that happens. Like he just like likes all the content creators, and that's like the community that he's in. He's not like creating Red Pill stuff. He's like regurgitating it.
Yeah, because I think I see him like reference the fact that he's like religious now, but he doesn't like say anything about it. He points to like a Bible that he puts on his couch.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like serious. Like I don't think that Bible's getting open.
No, but I don't think any of the Red Pill guys are actually serious about religion. It's like some aesthetic shit.
Do you take this really serious?
Yeah, I do, but it's hard because of the environment that I'm in. When like I'm not trying to say it as an insult, but when like 50 to 60% of the audiences are actual virgins, it feels like kind of weird or performative to like do so much content on this stuff. There's not much like that's applicable for most people, so why it's just kind of weird. But I mean, I feel strongly about all of it, but
Yeah, I feel strongly about the topics. I think it makes me get to 10 sometimes. But then people that I think are really serious kind of seems like memes, and then I feel like I'm silly.
yeah, that's why I don't interact with like characters ever. Like if I feel like I'm being serious and the other people are memeing, I completely disconnect. That's why I have a hard time like focusing on Zerka, or why I wouldn't talk to like Casey Tron and the Pastor, Bob Seven sometimes on shows. Even though I thought they were funny, I can't engage with the characters because it makes me feel stupid.
Is there anyone in the Red Pill community that you've encountered that you're like, this is a character?
I don't think so. Yeah, they all feel pretty genuine to me, on camera and off camera. Like they're pretty much the same. Right.
I get a lot of people saying they feel like Pearl is a pick-me. I'm not completely sold on her being a pick-me. I feel like there's a difference between being a pick-me and a grifter, and I kind of get big grifter vibes from her. What's she like off of camera? Just as like smug and condescending?
I mean, I don't want to say smug and condescending. I'll say she's
Oh,
similar.
sorry, you don't have to talk shit if you
Yeah.
you know, it's an awkward question. Yeah. Is there a reason you didn't go on the panel?
I think I just need to. I think I think way too much about like imposing on people, and I need to just like do things and just assert myself more. It just always feels like so attention whory. But
Sneako's on there. It feels like every other week.
yeah, I know. But I went out to dinner last night. I talked to them. Myron asked me, he's like, "Why didn't you show up?" And I was like, "Well, because you guys didn't ask me." He's like, "Oh yeah, just like drop by anytime." Like, of course. But I feel like, especially because when I'm on those shows too, I'm like dominating so much of the talking time that like I feel bad. Like, oh, here's Destiny again to come and talk for 12 hours about fucking whatever. Like I don't want to like overstay my welcome, I guess.
Do you ever look at what the views are when you go on?
Yeah, they're good. The money's good too. The super chats for those guys.
Oh, for them.
Yeah.
But like you, like do you generally give them like high rating views?
Yeah,
videos
that's what I
or
mean.
whatever?
They get good money, they get good viewership when I'm on for sure.
Yeah, so I mean obviously it's good if you show up.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, probably, yeah.
But it doesn't get boring for you to go there. Like do you feel like you were interested and kind of like wishing you were there because
Absolutely.
you knew some of the people on it and it made it more interesting, or?
Just because I knew the talking points. And when I feel like if Pixie and Aaron did a pretty good job, kind of, generally. I'm not trying to imply that they're dumb, but I know all these talking points really, really, really well. So when I see things that are being fought about on a show, and I feel like I want to have input because I feel like I could express some things with a little bit more clarity, then I get like really frustrated, and I really wish I was there. Yeah, there were a few points where it's like,
Yeah, you were backseat debating. Do you think if they weren't there and you just saw a panel of like the women, it's kind of like less interesting? I mean, the other women shit. They're women.
Well, it's going to depend on the women there, on how much of a fight they're putting up, or how much they agree or disagree or whatever, right?
Yeah, but I feel like part of what makes it interesting is that you weren't there. Like, even that Xena girl, I think the last time you were there with her,
Yeah.
she wasn't as combative with you as she was, like, with Aaron.
Was she
There's something
actually,
about-
was she on the show when I was there, or was she in the background? I'm trying to remember.
Maybe she was in the background.
Yeah, I don't think she was actually on when I was there. She's a huge, I've talked to her a bit off, because she usually goes to dinner afterwards. She's a huge Andrew Tate fan and everything. So,
Yeah, I think some women feel like a lot more comfortable being argumentative when they're like getting mad at another woman.
maybe,
Not
yeah.
so much a dude. So like
It's
those like
kinda
real
sad, but-
feelings, that energy comes out when another girl antagonizes it out of them.
Maybe, yeah.
And then you kind of foam at the mouth and you're like, I could finish this.
Sure, yeah. Would you ever go on a show like that? Do you think you would if you had the chance to?
Would, but could you imagine? What if it's a bitchy day for me?
Fucking great, dude.
What if it's a day where I have no chill?
As long as you can handle them being savage and probably racist. I think yeah, it'd be interesting.
I mean, define handle. It's just gonna make me yell at them. But the days where I can handle
sure.
it, I think I would be able to
I feel like,
get on my shoulder.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The conversations with Annalicia and then getting like acquainted with that community, it makes me see a lot of the red pill stuff in a way different light when it's coming from a lot of these creators that are black. Because I think a lot of what she said is she expressed it in a very vitriolic manner, but I think a lot of it is true. In that, yeah.
No, it is true, but you're not supposed to like prescribe it to every black man.
Sure, I
in the
know,
world,
but,
right?
like-
the ones that have the microphone.
This is
What-
like
what
a
is this
prediction
segment?
based on private conversations I've had, and I haven't talked to every black red pill creator. Based on the conversations I've had, the things I've seen, my guess is going to be that close to 100% of all of these black creators that are doing red pill content, if you were to ask them about black women, they would say stay the fuck away and never, ever, ever get close to them. That they're like toxic and horrible and don't ever touch them. I think that almost every single black red pill creator would say that, and I feel like a lot of their worldview is informed by their engagements with black women in their life that have probably been largely negative growing up, like especially with like single moms or families with single moms is what it feels like.
Fuck, I think I saw you react to Blueface and Christian Rock on
Yes.
No Jumper.
Yeah.
with
Holy
Shark.
shit.
Yeah, but I don't know what you are. You're like three types of fucking impatient. You can't watch a fucking video from the start. You gotta just jump to the middle. You don't even know what's happening in the middle. You're just like, yeah, this seems like a good place to start. You skip all of the interesting shit. You skip all of the parts of which Sharp is being like a fucking douche.
Yeah, I have
And
to.
he's
There's
being
a thing. Yeah,
condescending
I'm
prick.
changing up some of the shit. I just started doing this recently. I'm just permabanning the people that say anything. I think I blacklisted like 3 phrases that have to do with React. For a lot of the stuff, I need to watch it to like see what's going on and like learn or whatever. But I don't know if it's because a lot of the fucking retards in my chat are like watching XQC more or like what's going on. But like anytime I'm watching something, if I'm not like constantly talking like I'm Mr. Beast or some fucking YouTuber like Markiplier, people are like react more, react more, react more, react more, react more, and I'm just like trying to, and I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching yet. I'm like 2 minutes into this fucking video and I don't even know the people. But I've just started like permabanning like everybody that's like saying, even joking, saying stupid shit like that. So I'll probably do a little bit better at watching some long form stuff. But it's like it's starting to like mind fuck me a little bit. I don't know why, but over the past couple of years, audience should have started to mind fuck me, which normally didn't happen. I mentioned that before, that for the for that Change My Mind event, I started gaslighting myself when Aaron came up to talk, and I ended up cutting that conversation way shorter than I probably should have, because all I could think about in my chat was everybody saying like, oh, he's talking to a girl longer, he's simping, he just wants to fuck her, he just wants to fuck her. And I'm like, yeah, I need to just like, yeah, I'm probably talking to her too long. But that video did almost 1 million views. My instincts were right on that.
Oh, yeah.
I should have kept that conversation going. I knew it was a good combo, but like I started to gaslight myself so much based on what retarded people in my chat say I don't know if the community's gotten especially bad, or I think that what's happened was, I think that what's happened is, this is a bullshit thought I have no evidence or data for this, but something that is really good is when you go through life, sometimes you have difficult things happen to you, and you have to take a moment to process that, and then you kind of move on. You go through something difficult, you take a moment to think about it, you process it, and then you move on. Something that a lot of people do is, I call this like rolling garbage or rolling baggage. That what happens is they go through something, they don't really take time to process it, and they just fuck it, and they keep going, and they push until they crash, and they never actually take the time to properly kind of like reevaluate anything or process anything that's going on in their life. I think that what's happened is generally I'll intersect with a negative community, and then I tend to like stay pretty insular for a while because I don't do too much debate content. I intersect with the negative, stay insular, so I have time to like gather new fans and then get them kind of like more properly integrated, I think, into my community. But I think over the past like 2 years, I had a really big explosion kind of in popularity, and I don't think I've properly integrated those fans yet. So I've got a lot of people that are like, I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like 40% of my audience has probably started watching me in the past 2 years, I think. Vote. When did you start watching me? Before 2021 or after 2021? I'll say before COVID or after COVID. I'm just kind of curious, I guess, what the numbers are.
I mean, you created a tier 5 sub. That's
Yeah.
like $80 a month, and you're kind of a bunch of new viewers who.
Yeah, that are all new. All of my tier 5s are like new people, right?
Yeah.
So even in my DGG chat, and this should be my most loyal, ardent, like my biggest fans, even at that, 20% of those people are from after COVID. So let's try YouTube chat. Engage, boom, boom. Start a poll. Before COVID or after COVID? When did you start watching me? Yeah, some guy in my chat's like, I found you a no jumper. Jesus. But I think I have like, I think I'm catching like a big rolling audience that is not like fully integrated into like the shit that I do. So it's, I think I'm like rolling around with a lot of like non-traditional fans and stuff, especially my subreddit is fucking insane. On the shit that they post, it's like unbelievably wild. And, yeah, I don't know. I need to do, yeah. On my YouTube chat, it's almost 50-50 in terms of people. So almost half my live YouTube audience is watching me from like after COVID. That's like insane, considering I've been streaming for like 12 years. But it explains a lot of like how different people like engage with me in ways it's hard for me to understand. Especially like anybody that says like, oh, like Steven, like you're just so edgy, it's unnecessary compared to like what you could be, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh my god, like I'm so tame. I'm like a fucking like vanilla ice cream cone today compared to the like smorgasbord of insane shit that I used to be like even 5 years ago. But sorry, okay, you go. Okay, I just rambled. Go.
No, I want to keep hearing. So, do you think all of the people telling you need to chill, you're being too mean, do you think they're all old viewers? Or it's the new viewers who have this opinion? Because there's a lot of old viewers, well, okay, I say old viewers. You're thinking they're new viewers. I mean to say, do you think any of them could be old viewers? Because the old viewers have made progress by making this complaint of you, right? You have progressed, and maybe they're just like, they're still going.
No, I
Like,
think it's
more.
I think it's a combination of new and old, but I also think new viewers can shape old viewers' opinions a bit too. Like the community is going to be feedbacking itself. So if a whole bunch of new people come in and express an opinion, I think some old people will slowly start to kind of like move towards that opinion as well if it starts to become like a consistent opinion. So I think that there is a yeah, I think it just depends. But I think it's probably mainly newer viewers, but older viewers can get like into the idea too. Also, this isn't to say that I think all of that criticism is invalid. I think there's a lot of like decent criticism there.
I think it's the best criticism you got.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
like my favorite inside joke in this community, is that you need to be nicer on Twitter. All of your problems is because you're a mean person.
Base.
I don't know.
But yeah.
It's ironic because you advocate and you argue for probably like the type of politics that help the most people. So it's an interesting dynamic, and I think it makes you an interesting character when you yourself aren't like some soy jack, let me hold the door open for you, milady
Yeah.
type beat. I think it makes you a really interesting, complex character. With
Yeah, I mean, I think
an
so.
arc that I think most people like root for.
Probably. I just have to be careful. But I have to just keep progressing rhetorically to keep up with the times, because Jesus.
Rhetorically, I thought this was the year of like being a dark empath.
No, it's just the year of me pushing a little bit harder on my values. That is true. Somebody brought that up. It's interesting looking at Max's sub, because Max's sub is full of Destiny anti-fans that started watching me in like 2020. It's interesting that I have like an anti-fan that developed in like 2 years. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Yeah, I'll try to be more. I'm just trying to lean more into the things I believe in. It's important.
Do you feel like the way that you handled the Annalicia situation, is that exactly how you would handle it, like, right now? Or is there, like, an actual change from then to now?
It's... But my gut feeling is I would change it by pushing back on some stuff earlier. But the problem is I'm using knowledge I've gained after talking to her to think about what I would push back on. So I just don't know. Like, so for instance, if I were to say something like, so for instance, if she came on now, I think I've actually said this to her in the past, probably shouldn't say the bald and the burnt. Probably not okay. That's probably not an okay thing. But like when I'm first talking to her and I don't have much engagement with like these types of communities, I don't even know if like a colorist joke like that is considered especially bad. It feels weird for me to step in and say like, you can't say that. Like as a white person, I'm gonna tell you that that's like bad. Like, I don't know. So I'm more willing to like live and let live. The thing that's kind of irritates me the most about people like that is I feel like I can't tell if my audience either views all of themselves as retarded or me as retarded or everybody as retarded, because people will hear me have a convo with somebody like that, and after the first convo they'll be like, oh my god, like Destiny hates all black men, he's racist, I can't believe it, blah blah. And it's like, bro, do you have like no faith? Or like the whole community is now gonna hate black men because of this one conversation. It's like, bro, like it's just, this is the first convo. Like, yeah, the first ones are usually like getting to know, like it was the same with Fresh and Fit, it was the same with Annalicia, it was similar with Fuentes, it was similar with Mr. Golden Lab, it's similar, like almost every person I bring on, like the first combo is going to be like, let's orient ourselves and figure out what this person's all about. But people get like really ass mad about it, yeah.
It's so...
Sometimes. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, say that what you're going to say now.
Okay. I think it's funny because for the most part, you're engaging in debates and conversations, not so much to stampede, railroad, or just like fight people on everything, right? Mm-hmm. You want to not sanitize, humanize, and understand, and then come to like a conclusion and a place where you can argue your point.
Mm-hmm.
With your audience, the chat is like the fucking opposite. They're like, nah, I seen you say 2 sentences. You're a bitch. You're racist. Steven's just slow. I figured it out first. Do you feel like it's like a race to judge people? Like, because that's the vibe I get.
Yeah, it feels that way. I have a hard time separating out like it bothers me when people say like the subreddit is a reflection of how I act, when I don't think it is at all, or it superficially resembles it, where like I can be like kind of mean towards somebody sometimes, but like I'm always chill with people afterwards. It's always like this is just like an in the moment argument thing. I'm never like going on to Twitter or going onto my, like a Reddit to like drag the fuck out of somebody like after a conversation. Like that type of behavior is just like I don't do that. I would never do that. But it's like super normalized, and like yeah, I'm thinking about rewriting a whole different TOS or community guidelines on my subreddit, and then doing a mass unban. Thought about doing that, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, I was having conversations with a couple people. I think it's interesting to just like think about like how you guys moderate this space, or like what's even wrong with this space. Coming from somebody who has maybe less of a problem getting hate and like dislike online, and just wanting to understand the people who do have the problem. And sometimes I just look at it as people who are just playing a game. Like, this is super interesting. This is like a reality show for some people. Obviously, the topics are personal. People are invested in it, which makes it even that much more interesting. And while you are being patient and taking time with your guest or with issues, and you don't want to jump to conclusions because you sometimes end up making a fool of yourself. So, you know, lesson learned. I'll take a few days. I'll wait for a few conversations before I decide someone's racist or to start tone policing like a black woman or some shit. Like the rest of the audience is like, I'll solve the puzzle first. I'm gonna download Factorio and I'll finish this shit faster than streaming man. Type of thing.
Yeah, and it's okay if like
all of a sudden, yeah.
if you figure it out first that somebody's like racist or whatever. I guess like that's cool, but like because like I have my inklings, right? Because it's also annoying that people still treat me like I'm absolutely fucking weird. People be like, I can't believe that you couldn't tell that like Max was like really fucking weird. It's like, yeah, of course
Oh my
he's
God, I do
fucking
that too
weird.
sometimes.
Yeah, like obviously he's fucking weird. Now, did I think he would personally backstab me? No, but I knew that he was weird. I'm not like sitting here thinking, oh no, I think Max is like just a totally normal, like awesome, chill kind of guy. Like the guy is very much off the fucking rails of like normality. But I mean, I am too. But the process, I like the process of figuring people out rather than coming to a quick conclusion too, because you learn so much more that way as well, right?
And also, sometimes you actually change people's minds. Even if you just change their mind for like 20 minutes and then they go back to the same way
Sure.
they were
Yeah,
before.
like Sneeko.
Honestly, that could have been applied to so many people.
Probably.
I did like the new rule of timestamps, like links to go along with criticism. It just seems like really productive, and it feels like all of a sudden people kind of have to. If you are a content creator and you are putting yourself on the stream, you want to debate, you want to be opinionated, and you want to change minds. Like obviously, you are asking for people to criticize you, and it's just better if you can actually face it and deal with it with timestamps and understand like it's coming from a real place, rather than just see comments that say like you're retarded.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you see Sneeko drop the fucking bell curve on Fresh and Fit?
Listen, I don't know why anybody expects more from him. He lets Fuentes like drop slurs around him.
That's
He's
a
unfazed.
yeah, that's a hard one. Or well, no, you probably shouldn't do that. You probably just shouldn't let that happen.
No, you probably shouldn't.
No.
And then to insert yourself to do that. I don't know. Maybe he was taking up the fresh mantle, right? Because that's what Fit does. That's what Myron does. When the topic gets a little too sketchy, you stay quiet and you let Fresh just start rambling.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Himself.
But I mean, he was Fresh that show, right?
He was. When are you gonna co-host and drag women?
Good question. I'll figure it out someday, okay?
Time to convince you to be meaner. Back to addressing benevolent sexism. Don't you feel
God.
like if you were harder on Pixie and Aaron, that they would have been more prepared for that situation?
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to balance out like how hard can you be on somebody versus what makes you like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen the movie
Yeah, that's true.
Kick-Ass? Where they
Yeah.
the pretend comic book people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when after when her dad is dying and when they were training in the beginning, how she got shot with like the pistol rounds to like prepare her for like getting shot in real life, and then she was like, oh, it hurt so much more when I got shot in real life, and it's because he used like a lower grain bullet, so that wouldn't be as bad. I don't know. It's like you have to balance out like, yeah, I want to like train you to like be ready and shit, but I don't want to sit here and like be just a fucking asshole, you know? Like I don't want to sit here and fucking destroy somebody's fucking spirit, mind, and body to prepare them for whatever. Yeah, I guess it's all like a balancing act, you know?
Yeah, I understand that. It's kind of why I go out of my way to destroy myself.
Based.
Really prepare myself.
Nice one.
Do you feel okay?
I do wish, before you ask, I do wish that people like would give me, I don't know if I want to say like a little bit of credit, but like sometimes people act like I'm really mean. And there was a small part of me where it's like, because Aaron makes a lot of snarky comments and Pixie does fight a lot. And I'm like, all right, well, if you guys think that I'm mean in conversations, you're about to really find out what it's like when somebody gets really irritated when you do this shit. And they did, because I'm generally pretty patient with people. And for some reason, nobody gives me credit for how unbelievably fucking patient I am. I was with Max. I was unbelievably patient with fucking Lav. I'm patient with most people that come here, and people will still accuse me of like, oh, like he's so mean and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah.
Who's not giving you credit for being patient? Isn't that like, well, at least for me, that's been my biggest complaint.
Yeah, I know.
Remember,
I get
came
it's
on
simultaneously.
Here and told you to be a bitch to that one girl.
Yeah, it's simultaneously like the biggest complaint that I get on both ends, where my community is like, I think this is a big argument in Max's survey recently, where my community will be like, yeah, push back, push back, push back, push back. And then like the people I talk to are like, you're so mean, you're so aggressive all the time, like you never let me blah, blah, blah. And it's like, are you fucking serious? I always get pushback on both ends, and that was really fucking annoying.
Yeah. I think the people who tell you you're being too aggressive, those are the people that, like, sometimes I get frustrated with you, just because my standard is really high. I expect you to recognize that they're doing that strategically and to be able to call it out instead of like actually reflecting on the fact that you should be a nicer person. I don't know. I feel like it's weaponized against you because you get that complaint all the fucking time.
Yeah, mate. I don't know where like I don't know where like social understanding begins and human autism ends. So it's hard for me to tell sometimes. Like on the internet, it's just because at some point, this is always like the most challenging thing for me. It's very hard for me to say like, I think I'm right here and the thousands of people that are critiquing me are wrong. That's a really hard stance to take. And a lot of people will give me feedback. They're like, oh, you're so mean sometimes. You're really mean, blah, 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 blah. But like in real life, never heard this ever. Not a single time in my entire life. I banter with a ton of people. I joke with a ton of people. I've spoken with them. No one has ever had the impression or come off of feeling that I'm mean. But it's like but people see me like banter with somebody or be mean to sometimes like strangers or people I find on Twitter, and they just assume that I'm like that like all the time. Like one of the most retarded things I'll still hear from people when we go out to eat or like when we meet in real life, like, oh, I'm surprised at like how polite you are to like all like everybody, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you think I just walk around like shitting on every fucking person and random? Like, what a stupid fucking comment. And I hear shit like that like kind of frequently. So I don't know if something just doesn't
stealthing every other person.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that too. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't translate as well to the online environment, or people are just really bad at reading like where to stop and where to start or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like even when it came to like even when it came to things like posting on Reddit, people were like, oh yeah, like of course we post like this is what we do, like this is what you would do, blah blah blah. And it's like if you go through my history, you can see where I got banned from Vosh's subreddit because they don't like me. But if you go through my post history and you look at my posts on other subreddits, I'm generally pretty respectful. I think like I might call someone dumb or something, but on LSF. Like, I think I'm generally pretty respectful. On Vosh's subreddit, I was very respectful. Like, I'm not going around and, like, posting, like, huge hate threads or huge, like, vitriolic response to people on other subreddits. I just don't do that. But I think people would assume that I would, that I'm about to, like, type up this, like, 45-page, like, personal insult Reddit comment or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know.
Was it LSF where you were doing spoilers of movies?
Okay, the LSF thing was different, but they deserved it, okay? That was my truly mask off Joker moment. Gotcha. And I would do it all again, too. I would.
Okay, so isn't this just the phenomenon of online? People, the hate comments are the loud, like, minority. And we kind of let people know, like, the onus is on you to not let it drown out the positivity. Like, if you've got, I don't know, if you've got 10,000 viewers and then there's 20 people in your chat spamming that this is trash, like, why are you listening to 20 people, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. I got, it's... the phenomenon of getting one guide. Yeah, I should.
You literally got a new email for it.
Yeah, I should think about that more because, like, I think that I do. Like, there were a few times, even yesterday. Fuck, who was it? Somebody made a comment about something, and I was about to just shut off the stream because it was already late anyway, and I just want to build my factory. I was about to just shut off my stream, like, oh, okay, well, I don't think anybody wants to watch this, but I didn't. I think I just ignored the person. Yeah, it's hard because, like, on one end you want to ignore it, but on the other end, not everybody ignores
Imposter syndrome?
No. Yeah. I don't have imposter.
No, but that's
I know I'm cool.
No.
Okay, I don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You don't know you're cool. You feel like an imposter when somebody can say one comment and is like, "This is boring." Like the thought really goes in your head, like, "Fuck, this is boring. I might as well just fucking shut it off." You guys don't appreciate that I've even turned on my stream.
I don't think it's boring. I'm just annoyed that the guy is saying it. I don't actually think that it's boring. I'm just annoyed that this fucking moron in my chat is saying some dumb shit.
You don't think it's boring?
No, I'm just annoying that this fucking moron thinks his opinion matters about that particular thing. That's usually what triggers me. I don't need like a precision.
Wait, what was the thing? Because if it was about Factorio, I just really need you to qualify what is not boring. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. Oh no, I wish I could remember what the comment was, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Where were we at?
You get one guide. the hate comments are so much louder than the positivity.
Oh yeah, you have to be careful
Positivity
that like
doesn't
the
vocalize itself.
you don't want the negative shit. Even if you can ignore it, it will weigh on the community, and other people won't ignore it. So even if like you like, oh, I'm cool with the subreddit being like super negative and all that, it doesn't bother me. It's like, okay, but everybody coming in is gonna like have a bad feeling about it because it's gonna make people just feel shitty because nobody wants to be involved in that, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's also how you. I mean, you already know this. It's how you grow a hate community, because
Yeah, that's
anybody
how.
who thinks positively about you or engages in a healthy way, guess what? All of the people who want to be like autistic haters and negative Nancy's, they're commenting to each one of those like good faith, good engagers,
Mm-hmm.
and like really deteriorating their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to want to engage in a space like that. Or it's like you have to go out of your way to find like the positivity that's in the community. And some people like the combativeness, they like that toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody,
Yeah.
you guys. And that's coming from me. I think when I had this conversation and I got wait, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, when I had this conversation and I got called out for it a bit. Obviously hypocrite. I'm pretty fucking toxic myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think people heard my whole argument, which is people who have an issue with the subreddit, I completely understand it coming from like content creators, it feeling like, wow, this is really shitty. This is what they think of me.
Mm-hmm.
The comments where it's like, all conversations with this person are pointless.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like, I mean, you say Jesus, but the thing is, I don't even think that that's that bad. Okay, so this is obviously probably my toxicity coming out.
Okay.
That's not that harsh, and it's a little bit weird because I feel like sometimes the people who would be alarmed by that, like not the content creators or anything like that, but the people who would post and say this is too far, wouldn't bat an eye when I say Sneeko is groomed, ignore what he's saying.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, it always feels different when it's about you, though, right? I
It's
do agree.
different when it's about you. It's different when it's about the people that you like.
Yeah, or
you
don't
want
like,
us to
yeah.
be nicer to the people that you like,
Mhm.
and you don't have those same standards for the people that you don't like, and it's really confusing
Mhm.
for I think everyone who's just got that sort of toxic sense of humor or outspokenness.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that that's a shitty thing, but at the end of the day, I have to evaluate like, how do I want my like chats and everything to go on stream? Because if it is the case that every time you post or every time you have a conversation, there's maybe like horrible, evil posts about you, it's just gonna cut out a lot of people from ever wanting to come on stream, which is just unfortunate. And then I get fucked out of interesting content, and the stream does.
Do you feel like this, when you think about this, when you talk about this, it's close to the situation where you go on podcasts and you end up talking for like 30 minutes about how your goal is to talk about hard things?
Mm-hmm. But you don't actually talk about the hard things?
You're not actually talking about like what you want. You're just talking about how you want to change, but you don't know what it is.
Well, no, I mean, like we tried implementing one rule change, right? We'll probably try a couple more going forward. I do think, I will say that, and you know, knock on wood, and you know, we've still got more time to go forward in the future. I thought that the anti-misogyny arc would take like over a year. I thought that was a really difficult thing to work through. I think we've done a really good job in regards to misogyny, because in a lot of the huge hate threads that popped up about Pixie and Aaron, a lot of the comments were like nasty, mean, vitriolic and everything. Not very many sexist comments though. There were a couple ones, but not very many. Not as many as there would have been 6 months ago. So that was
Also,
good.
there's a lot of comments in support of them, despite
Sure,
it
yeah.
being hate threads.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't think that was as big before.
yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised about that even though the people were being rude and nasty and disgusting, they weren't like overly misogynistic about it, which is cool. We should just hate people and be nasty about it without hating them for being women. So
Based. Fuck, I just had a thought in my head and I lost it.
oh, true, that might have been cheated because maybe banning all of Mr. Girls fans influenced that a lot.
Oh my god, my Twitter feed is so much better since banning all of his fans and his crazy mods.
He's brought on like it feels like almost every expert that he's brought on to interview over the past like month has been like He's asked them questions about me. It's very, very, very weird.
Yeah, I think he still takes viewer call-ins to debate about you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
The article's coming out any day now.
The article,
Yeah.
Can you finally admit the community wasn't exceptionally sexist against Lav and that she was a fucking dumb retard? No. You guys were unbelievably fucking sexist about Lav. It's like not even that's one of the few things that you fucking morons will never gaslight me on. Lav and Annalicia. You guys are insanely fucking sexist over it. Because if you can't attack somebody without like being able to do it without like fucking invoking their gender, saying blah 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 over and over and over and over and over again, yeah, no, you absolutely are. But
was there a lot to Annalicia? I don't.
A decent amount, but not as much. I think the best thing, and I always said this too. I feel like on a really fundamental level, solving things like racism and sexism, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's just you just have to get a bunch of these people together with each other, and when you start getting a lot of them, it forces you to see people in a different way. When I had streams where it was, I think it might have been like you, Annalicia, Lav, Aaron, like all arguing with each other. It's really hard to be sexist and take sides because they're all women, and it forces you in a different state of mind where it's like if it was Lav and like Annalicia arguing against somebody, it's like fucking women, these are blah 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 blah. But when it's a bunch of women arguing against women, when you've got like all of those women there, you kind of have to start like treating things a bit differently. And I think that's when the tone of the conversation started to change, where people were starting to take sides and shit on other people, and the invoking the fact that they were women didn't really matter because there were so many women involved in the conversation. So I think that helped a lot. But yeah.
I also do want to say that I think Lav put herself in a pretty unique situation to antagonize the sexism out of a lot of people.
Yeah, she's ultra antagonistic. Yeah, she even said on Twitter,
personally putting out her like tits and her fucking pussy on the internet to like, I don't know, just she definitely she knows what she does.
Yeah, for sure. And she would come on when she did her whole like fucking emotional manipulation arc, which is probably her entire life. But when she was saying this, like, I just don't know why people are so mean towards me. And she's like literally tweeting the day before, like, you don't like me? I'm going to show up even more. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah. And then she comes up and she's like, I love that you guys can't help but come to me.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, you're like ditching panels to come and like talk to us. Like, you're wild right now. Yeah. She is insanely snaky. But
how much do you miss her?
I miss the content. I like screaming at her. Like, that's a lot of fun. On a personal level, I don't think I would ever be friends with her again. Like, it's irritating that like of the few people I tried to like reach out and like form new friendships with, I got so fucking burned by it. So yeah, I would never trust her personally with anything. I don't think anybody should trust her personally ever, because she's an insane fucking snake. But the content was good, yeah. But I mean, the content with Mr. Girl was good too. So, God, fuck, I wish those two could have figured out a way to hate me at like arm's length instead of completely ejecting. But
do you miss Max more than Lav, or is it less because he's a bit more unhinged?
I feel like Lav was like unhinged in like a feminist way that was like you hate them but they're somewhat on Earth, and Max was more just like not on this planet, so like the hate was a little bit different. Like, Lav might come in and say some shit where it's like all pornography is exploitative, and I think OnlyFans girls are actually just as bad as sex traffickers. Like, that might be something, I don't think she would say exactly, but she might say something like that. Whereas Max would come on and say something like, you know, like, if it's an especially mature 12-year-old, I wouldn't consider it sex trafficking, right? Like, Max might say some shit like that. So, like, for Lav, it's like, oh, you get more upset because it's like a little bit more of a realistic kind of view that you can imagine someone having. But Max's views are like so out there, it's like, okay, well, time to have a crazy Max conversation.
Oh, wait. Lav had that conversation with Sneeko, and they really got along. Could you... there could have been an arc, a world, where Lav, she, in her, like, anti-sex work arc, finds a way to justify what Andrew Tate did and say that the girls were willing. I would have liked that arc.
Yeah, maybe, actually. It's possible.
Yeah, I think she could have found a way to be a hypocrite.
She's pretty good at that.
Who else are you interested in these days? That's content. Oh, before you move on to that, the misogyny arc, anti-misogyny arc, I think it was really successful. And not even just with like chatters and maybe what you see on the subreddit, but like with other streamers. I think the first conversation I had with Lonerbox, like the anti-misogyny arc, is what he said was
See.
what improved his view of DGG.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I think it also helps with like the outside people looking in.
Huh. Oh, yeah, except we lost we lost one brave soldier, irrelevant.
Did we lose him?
I don't know, man. He seems like he fucking hates women.
You're not a woman. You didn't lose him.
Well, I mean, like, we lost him to the woman hating.
I mean, you didn't lose him to the woman hating. He absorbed it for us.
Oh, maybe. He was like the
Yeah.
radiation babies in that Chernobyl documentary, where the one mother survives because her baby absorbed all the radiation. That's what he was like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
You probably... When are you gonna have a talk with him?
I don't know. Why am I supposed to? Do I need to?
Yeah. When women say crazy shit, you go out of your way to talk to them and fix them. Time to fix some men, Steven.
I don't know if I can fix him.
Is it because he's gained so much? Would it be hard?
I don't even know if he wants to. I don't know. I'm not in the process of like fixing people generally.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the conversation's ending here.
Well, do you have any other thoughts or feelings for us?
What's the plan for today?
Probably gonna focus on. I need to get Space Science 2 done today. I think I'm. Fuck. Who joined?
Subreddit stuff?
Oh, what's up? What up?
What's
What
up,
about it?
forethought?
You need to do something about your VODs so people can actually cite them.
About my. Aren't they like rehosted on like Odyssey or some shit?
Going forward, Odyssey.
I don't know what. I mean, I can't do YouTube because fucking random shit is getting like banned and reported here like crazy now.
There is
that
an
a serious
Odyssey,
issue?
but it takes like a day for it to upload there, I think.
Your volume is so low. Yeah, I don't know why these guys their microphones are like turned off. I don't know both of
Hold
them.
on.
No,
I can
yeah.
turn it up. Chill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're gonna make
just
a.
have to- You just have to tell me that it's quiet and I can fix it.
Okay.
How's it?
Let me.
Is it
turn
good?
Back to 100. Hold on. Jesus. Okay. Speak like a normal human.
I'm speaking like a normal
Okay.
human.
Good job. Nice job.
You just have to. We can work together to solve things. You don't have to go ass mad immediately.
Yeah,
all
but
right?
why is your mic so fucking quiet coming in? Why would it even be that way?
I don't know. I was talking to other people and it was fine.
Uh huh.
You
Uh-huh.
need to be nicer to people.
Yeah, you're gonna be nicer to me, not to me to you. Be nicer to me, okay?
Is the new Orbiter obsession the subreddit now? Is that the thing?
Well, they've always kind of been obsessed about it, right? Haven't they?
Always was.
I don't know. I kind of like the mean subreddit.
User
It
joined
really
your channel.
filters the wheat from the chaff.
Ja.
Okay, are you
Bobo.
against the moderation?
Was willst du denn?
The hit dog himself.
Was möchtest du denn?
Das ist.
Yeah, all my moderators just like it when
Möchte
everybody's
gar
fucking mean to
nichts.
everybody, okay?
Schön.
You guys are unhinged.
Ja,
I
Rosen ist schlecht
expected
gelaunt
you
in
to be
letzter Zeit.
like,
Ach, keine
I don't know,
Ahnung.
thirsty with
Cool.
power. Is that the
No.
phrase?
Absolutely not. You have it very backwards. This is a
Oh.
thing that
Kunde kommen.
absorbs annoying
Ja,
amount of
ich
time.
weiß nicht, wie viel da funktioniert, weil ich meinen
And having to
Betriebnehmer das
babysit
übernehmen
Orbiter
habe lassen.
emotions via subreddit.
Mal schauen.
Oh, makes me angry.
Well,
Wait, do they start messaging you about the subreddit?
Yeah, I'll get some sometimes.
Ja, okay.
Ja, wollte ich den Patch testen. und dann
why did you ban
patchen
that
nicht.
one guy in the subreddit?
Oh, that guy?
Uh-huh.
Listen,
I would have banned him, by the way, but yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your explanation.
you gotta make. You just gotta kill some stuff in its crib, you know?
Der Patch ging nicht.
And I would see that joke in
Ja,
every
Patch ist
single
nicht
fucking
raus.
thread until the end of fucking time. So
True.
I'm just gonna kill it in its crib now.
Hey.
Das war jetzt ein
I
Leak.
agree. Fucking A.
Minus 500. Damn, you guys are mad. But yeah, rest in peace, that guy.
Rep.
What are some new rules going forward that need to happen? Because honestly, I don't even think the sub is as mean as it could be.
I didn't think that calling a conversation with someone pointless was like that bad.
Well, no, it is.
I think it's just because I hear so much worse about me.
Yeah, probably.
Jesus fucking Christ, Alter.
But what are you gonna do?
Steve, please, when are you finishing this fucking game, man?
I'm focusing on it today,
Oh.
okay? What if okay, you've secondary, tertiary, what's like the 4? Is there a 4 name? Like quadrutiary or what the fuck?
Pixie.
Oh,
Don't you
boy.
just say tertiary?
Yeah, but what's after tertiary?
Isn't tertiary anything just beyond a certain?
Well, it's got a T in it, so I assumed it was like a third, like tertiary is like third. Secondary, primary, secondary, tertiary.
I think you're incorrect here. Hold on.
Really?
Hello.
Okay.
What's up,
I
my
just
fellow
jumped-
incel?
Oh,
Hello.
quaternary. That's a real word?
Oh wow, it is actually third order. You're very. Huh.
Wait.
Like-
Did you guys ever grow up, real quick before we get into this, did you guys ever grow up thinking that several meant 7?
No.
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 Oh.
Fuck you guys. Never mind, you fucking losers. Just, okay,
Okay.
what do you guys want to talk about?
I just jumped in quickly to just I don't know if I'm just taking this too personally or not, but I'm not upset as much of the subreddit of saying things like are pointless or whatever. I think it's like kind of rude. But what I was most upset about that is that, or the whole criticism, was the fact that they just were basically calling me a liar
Damn.
when it came to my opinions or beliefs or misrepresenting them, and then not even actually trying to debate against them, just being like, oh, they're a liar, like, ah. So I feel like that was the most frustrating part, because it's one thing to be mean, and then it's one thing to be mean without like substance, like empty meanness. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's
there was
actually, that is the
that's-
problem that I have. There's like a polite post, which is okay. Then there's a mean post, which is annoying. But when people start posting shit, like for the gym takers, and people start pushing like, oh, Destiny's just defending Melina because that's his wife. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'll shit on Melina for everything that she says is stupid. I'm probably the meanest person in the world. The person I'm the meanest to is probably my wife. The idea that I would simp for some fucking opinion of her is like so fucking stupid. Like when I start to see people accuse me of being bad faith, I just permit because why would you even listen to anything I say? Do you think I'm just gonna fucking lie? Like, why are you even here? What's the point? That triggers me to. That's like the easiest way to catch a permaban is to say some shit like, oh, I think Destiny's just being bad faith or lying. It's like, well, then why the fuck are you watching me? You think I'm just gonna lie about shit? Fuck, that triggers me. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like
Pixie?
it triggers. Yeah. hmm
I would just say, like, don't use me as a gauge for what you should for what you should be able to tolerate or not. I willingly play League of Legends for a majority of my days, so there's a few degrees like lost in warmth of my heart.
Oh, I hope you can gain those if you want it back. Those degrees
No,
of
I don't want them
warmness.
back, but I think you should also remove the they in your profile, the she they thing. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to talk about that off stream.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why. I feel like part of the reason why I put it there is also, and this is toxic on my part. For example, like I was having a conversation with Jackson Hickle the other day, or like I joined that like call. I felt like he would have not added me if I didn't put the she they, because I felt like it was like easy bait, or I feel like people or righties are more willing to like talk to me because they feel like it'll be an easy dunk, which I guess it kind of is, whatever. But I feel like it puts my foot in the door, but maybe it's just not worth it to begin with. So yeah, I think I'll just change it maybe to like she bitch or just completely remove it. I don't know.
Jesus. Blood based. Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like the last thing before I dip out, I'll probably dip in later to talk about Freshman Fit, but not right now. There was another post. I felt like it was a little bit nitpicky, but I respect that person because they cited their stuff and they gave some good criticisms within it. So I just want to say, like, whoever posted that, like, honestly, thank you for going through the conversation and putting the effort. And yeah, okay, that was it.
Yeah, sure. But how do you like feel that you need to take a break over like a random 150 upvote thread in the Destiny subreddit?
Uh-oh.
Well, I felt like I might have had to take a break because if so many people are just like, oh yeah, like this basically like this honest ideologue, like everything she says is basically like a lie, like I'm not gonna believe anything she says, then it's like, why the fuck am I talking? Like why if nobody's gonna believe, or if the vast majority of people are just going to claim that I'm like lying every single time or taking whatever I say and making the worst interpretation, then I might as well say nothing at all because it wouldn't really matter, you know?
I
Mhm.
think it happens. I think that this is like a, I mean, it's you don't have bipolar, but this is like a bipolar break, right? You just like you're venting, you're frustrated, but then you wake up the next day and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go IRL and have a debate with Sneeko, and the next day I'm gonna go on Fresh and Fit. Like you're not really taking a debate. You're just like maybe overwhelmed and frustrated, and
Oh, I
yeah.
almost, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the fact that Erin was here helped me a lot because like she's staying with me right now, so I was able to like talk a lot of it through with her. I feel like if I was alone, I might have not ended up even going to see Steve. I would have
Oh.
just like logged off completely because I was just like, I feel like having her here helped me a lot with all that processing and shit. Because otherwise, like, I would just be like, yeah, like nobody's gonna believe what I say, so I shouldn't talk.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Independent of rude hate threads and dishonest hate threads, I think you might have some resilience issues.
Jesus. My God.
It's okay if you think that. I feel like it's just maybe this is my parasociality within the subreddit or whatever. I think I might just expect more things from this community because I can see a lot of people being capable of like rational argument and discussion. So I feel like when they're not doing that, it like really strikes me the wrong way. Well, when it comes to like Sneeko and Fresh and Fit, people are like, "Oh, if Pixie wasn't prepared for Destiny subreddit, she's not going to be like able to handle either of those things." And it's like I don't have nearly as much of an expectation or attachment to either of those places because I feel like most of the community there are like dumbasses. So it's just like, oh, like I don't really like, okay, say whatever sexist shit you want about me. Like I honestly think it's kind of funny how strong you have to like I think it's really funny how they have to like pretend to be that women are more emotional and yet like they're like super emotional about everything I say. So, but like here it's different. Here I expect people to act better, and maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
Damn. Called out forethought.
Listen, I'm just the rancher, all right?
Do you think
I don't make
Forethought's
the
being
herd.
emotional right now?
No, I think Forethought's being pretty calm. Destiny, on the other hand.
Good one.
Well, that was it. I hope you guys have a good conversation. I'll jump in later to talk about FNF. But bye.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.
Would
What's
I
up,
be
Ralph?
interrupting something if I were to talk about my supposed misogyny art?
Absolutely not. Go for it.
Not a damn
Oh, no,
thing.
Stegin. No.
Oh, now you're about to get
No.
hardcore critique. Uh-oh. Yeah.
But did Sejin not like me?
No, he's just
Sejin-
gonna fucking derail.
Sejin
We're
is
gonna
the
talk about
resident
definitions.
rhetoric moderator.
Nice police. Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Steven,
Hi.
how am I on my misogyny arc?
I don't remember. I just saw clips to you and it seemed pretty worrying. And then I just saw one today
Okay.
about like telling a woman if she was ugly she'd cut her fucking wrist or something.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait, what was that? I'm actually curious. Does anybody have that clip? I want to see what.
It sounded like you were
context people
saying, I don't know if you're talking about gym stuff, but it sounded like you were saying like a girl that has all sorts of confidence come up and talk to me, and if I were to say something like you're leaking a little bit of chub, she'd probably cut herself that bad. or
Dass er
something.
Aram spiele, der
Yeah,
hat
I was talking
eingeladen.
about the insecurity of men and
Das hab ich
women,
nicht gesagt.
and that people who
Aha.
present as very confident are often
Deswegen habe ich
very
gesagt,
internally,
dass er Aram
have very high
überall.
internal self-worth.
Hallo?
Okay.
Hallo.
Based.
Ja, ich hab's repariert für die
Can I
Pille.
hear how I'm misogynistic though?
Jetzt weg.
I don't know. That's just some shit people repeat all the time. And then I watched a couple clips. I think it was the combo that you had a long time ago,
Jetzt ist er
a
wieder
month or two ago.
so wie du so bist.
Ich spiele
Yeah, I think I
Fundex und du
remember
tryhardest immer.
Imagine the one you're talking about, the one that I had with DK's partner, I think was who they were. It was with a woman,
Mhm.
and a lot of people gave me feedback on that. Yeah,
Oh.